Good morning, everyone. This is Erica with Aurora Heart Healing, and today I am showing up as my most vulnerable self. I woke up this morning and it was about 3:33 a.m. is when I looked at the clock. So I knew that there was something that I needed to know. So as I sat there, I laid there for a few minutes and I just said, what messages is it that I need to hear right now? And I opened my TikTok feed and I listened to a tarot reading. And the gist of the whole reading was that there was something preventing me from loving myself and embracing my most authentic self. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, all of it. So what it was that I did was I decided to do a session today on myself. And when I sat down, I got that I needed to share with you and show a little bit more of this vulnerability side of me so that others can see, it's not, if you feel compassion, love, and empathy when you're watching me, then maybe it's okay to share what you feel too. So I hope that this helps you. A lot of the emotions we all feel these things. It might not be the same situations that I feel them in, but we still feel them. And this is something that I would like to read because this talks about relationships in general, but I want to point it more towards myself. So this was a pastor that I was listening to, and it says, sometimes it is not the relationship that needs to end. It is the behavior of the people in the relationships that needs a necessary ending. It is easier to end the relationship than to end the behavior that is causing the toxicity within the relationship. More often than not, we rather end the relationship than to do the work on ourselves so we can have a new person in the relationship. I want to end any toxic traits in my own relationship with myself. And I've my whole life, for a long time, at least 10 years, I have constantly tried to see what toxic traits within myself cause me to have a bad relationship with myself. And that has led me to relationships that there's been bad when I was showing up really bad, and then there's been a little bit better. And now I want to show up as my most authentic self, my most loving self, so that I can attract that into my life, whether it be friendships, whether it be a future relationship, because I do hope to be in a relationship one day that they embrace their most authentic selves as well. So we're going to begin. I am going to be doing a session. All of the information is going to be in the description below, and you'll be able to get some insight on my life. And hopefully these emotions, these energies, these beliefs that I find within myself, maybe you can resonate with some of those feelings because they may show up in your life a little bit different than they do in mine, but we can all attest to feeling, and we've all felt these emotions before, even when we don't always recognize them, but they could be sabotaging certain things in your own life. So the first thing is a rigid character. The main issue of people with a rigid character defense is authenticity. As I'm working on embracing my most authentic self. All right. The and authenticity. Okay. Is there more that I need to know about this? No. Okay, so right off the bat, a rigid character it's what happens with a rigid character is you try to separate your core self, your most authentic self, from the self that you project out into the world. So, very appropriate. Are there any trapped emotions or energies preventing me from fully loving and embracing my most authentic self? Yes, there is. It's a rigid character. All right, is there more that I need to know? Is it here, here, here? Mental grasp, tentacles, silent, combination, hysteria, boundary containment. Hmm. Okay, boundary containment. The person will simply remove him or herself from the situation while strengthening and thickening his boundary in order to remain unaffected. The message thus conveyed is of superiority. Okay. Do I need to know more about this? Is there an age? So there's an age that this started happening. So I think that I'm looking at it from myself right now and leaving a situation instead of learning how to work through it. It's actually something that I've done a lot in my life, and I've tried to really remove myself from that pattern because I see that it causes more heartbreak than it causes connection, love, genuine understanding of another person. There are certain people, no, you're bound, there's a boundary, and you can't put your hand on a stove so long every single time you get burned. No. There's certain people in my life that I've cut out, and that's okay. But there are some people that might have done really minor things that I could be critical of. All right. So, did this happen before the age of 30? Yes. Before the age of 20? Yes. Before the age of 10? Yes. Before the age of 5, 6, 7, age 8. So age 8, this has been going on for a long time in my life. Math, 36 minus 8. So that's how many years? Is there more that I need to know in this? No. Is there more I need to know in this? Is there any other things? Okay, so I'm getting there are different kinds of emotions that I need to look into. This emotion is a shielding emotion. It's different than a heart wall. It's almost like I am shielding myself by feeling this default feeling. And this is part of the downloads that I've been receiving over the last few weeks. Dread. The emotion, the shielding emotion is dread. Okay. To fear greatly, to be very reluctant to do, meet or experience terror or apprehension as to something in the future. Okay. Is there any more shielding emotions? There are more shielding emotions. Is it on this page? Is it on this page? Effort unreceived. Effort unreceived. Okay, so my friends, effort unreceived is when one's work, achievement, attempts, or endeavors are not accepted, or one's best effort is not considered good enough or felt unappreciated, one's ideas were not heard, considered, don't feel approval or validation. It's so crazy because as I'm reading this, I am thinking about when I was in school. There was a teacher, I won't name her name, but she was so cruel to me, so cruel to me. And I'm getting that, yes, this is the teacher. So, story. Oh, gosh. When I was a kid, I'm central, my family is from Nicaragua, Central America. And when I was a kid, I didn't have very many dark people in my city with that looked like me. And there was one black boy that came into the class. I don't know how you would like to be politically correct, African American, whatever the case may be. He was darker skinned like me. And we hit it off immediately. We started talking and we were just like, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? I love being your friend. And he was like, you're black too, right? Because there's not a lot of black kids in the school. And I was like, yeah, that's what I am. Yes, authentically. I thought I was black. And for the next couple of years, I went through life thinking that I was black because that was the only, I don't think people usually say, oh, yeah, this is what you are, unless a child asks. I don't think it really comes up in conversation. Well, I was under this pretense that I was African American, of African American descent, and I did a report on Martin Luther King. And I dressed up in a dress with black leggings and I did my parents did my hair and I felt so proud of myself for memorizing the I have a dream speech. And I just felt prideful in it. Like I just felt so much pride in myself in that moment because there wasn't very much pride to be had from my parents. So I went and I had practiced the speech and I was just so excited. And I went up and I told the speech and I was like beaming. And the teacher, she feelings. She laughed at me and she told me, what do you think Martin Luther King is a woman? Why are you wearing a dress? Look at that hair. He had short hair. Why didn't you cut it? She just started tearing me apart in that moment. And I just stood there in front of everyone. She did this in front of the whole classroom. And she just said, you get a C minus for remembering the whole speech. But wow, you're supposed to be like him and you're not. You're a woman. And it was really heartbreaking in that moment. And I'm getting that um, this is the experience that I've been holding on to that is making it hard for me to embrace my most often authentic self. Um, and creating more of a boundary between myself and others. And that shielding emotion, feeling dread. I always felt dread going. She had us do a lot of presentations in our class, and it didn't matter how good I did or how great I felt about it. My efforts were never really received by her. She really tore me apart daily. Okay, I'm gonna keep going, all right? Is this a different kind of emotion? So this is a different kind of emotion. This is something that I also just um just downloaded, I think 2 days ago. So this is something new that I just saw. This one is called a wounded child worldview. From what I've understood when I first initially found it, is that it affects the way that we see the world, the way that we not perceive it, but the way that we actually see it. And it comes from a wound from our childhood. So let's find what emotions are creating this worldview that I cannot embrace my most authentic self. Have we passed that emotion? Is it in the experiences? Okay, so this is in Brene Brown's experience and emotions chart. Okay, is it in this row, this row, this row, this row, this row, this row. Pride, fierce humility. Is it in this row? Is this mine? Okay. This one, this one, this one. Dehumanization. The way that this woman treated me for the year that I worked, or I was in her class, um, she dehumanized me at every turn. It was as if I wasn't even a person. Um, she wouldn't let me go to the bathroom, and there was a couple of times that I wet my pants in her class, and she would have me stand up in front of everyone and make fun of me there in front of everyone. Um, she would laugh at me and make fun of me and poke fun and joke, and it was so cruel. And I don't even understand how she continued to be a teacher for as long as she did. But she dehumanized me. And this wounded child worldview is really hitting me hard right now because it's almost like I wasn't human. I'm gonna give myself a good cry after this, but for intensive purposes of this video, I'm just going to let myself feel what it is that I feel about this and understand where this is coming from because this makes so much sense why it was so hard. It's been hard for me to embrace who I am, and we can hurt each other so deeply. And I understand that she was hurting, and I pray for her. Is there anything else that we need to know about this Ridgid character? Nope. Can we go ahead and clear this energy now? Thank God. And we use magnets to activate the vagus nerve. We go all the way up and down, which it releases endorphins. It helps reset. It's a prime meridian. So you are doing, if you do prime meridian work, you understand that this helps release. Okay. Is there anything else that is causing me to not fully love and embrace my most authentic self? Yes. Childhood. Okay. Is it in the reference page? Is it in the book? Is it in emotions? Let's see. This one is kind of giving me a hard time here. Is it one of my charts? One of my charts. No will to. Okay, no will to. This is Dr. Bradley Nelson, body code. A, odd row, 1. No will to trust others. Okay. No will to trust others. So heavy to not be able to trust anyone with the way that you feel, the way that you think. This isn't current. This happened when I was younger. I've definitely moved past a lot of these things, but this is a layer deeper. This is a deeper sense of why it's been hard for me to embrace myself, even. Maybe my trust in myself in picking the right people was broken. I know that currently I've been feeling that. Okay, is there anything else that we need to know about this? Is there different emotions? So these are different kinds of emotions. Is it on this page? Is it on this page? Is it on this page? A soul emotion. Okay, a soul emotion. The deepest of inner fears that a soul experienced did not want to fully confront in their transition into this life. A goal of each life is to conquer these. Okay. So for those of my friends that I do, that believe in past lives, this is actually an emotion from a past life, my own past life. Let's play with this a little. Is this as a woman? No. Is this as a man? Okay. This was a male past life. Do I need to know anything else about it? Okay, so this soul emotion has been something that I need to confront, and I'm going to confront today here with all of you as my witness. This one already feels very heavy. I can feel it just like kind of makes me want to throw up. Disgust. Ooh, no wonder it made me want to throw up. Disgust. To cause loathing or nausea in, to offend the good taste or moral sense, a strong distaste or strong aversion. Okay, do I need to know more about this? I do need to know more. Is it in, okay, so this is going to be in Brene Brown, Atlas of the Heart. Is it in this section? This section, this section, this section, this section, this section, this here. Okay. Here, 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 here. Oh, okay. So this is on page number 262 in her book. And I'm gonna write this down. And I'm gonna see what this is. We also see controlling the path in larger cultural contexts. For example, politicians who see people suffering and rather than actually walking alongside them, make people feel like they're understood and they're not alone, while actually leveraging and exploiting their emotion for political gain and influence. I see your struggles and your pain. You don't deserve it. Here's who to blame and here's how I can help you make them pay. This near enemy is so seductive that it is often dangerous as the far enemy walking away. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. The same page. On the same page, here is something, it said that Martin Luther King Jr. just jumped out. It's on the same exact page as this. So I'm going to read this. It's not part of it, but I'm going to just see. My favorite definition of power comes from Martin Luther King Jr. In 1968 speech given to striking sanitation workers in Memphis, Reverend King defined power as the ability to achieve purpose and affect change. Okay, so not trusting others. Okay, what I am receiving right now, and I'm just really connecting to my spirit guides, to God, is in this lifetime, I saw so much pain and suffering, and people were in power, and I didn't see effective change. And I know that I see that now in my life, but it's that feeling of disgust with what is happening around me and feeling maybe even powerless to change, because it even says define power as the ability to achieve purpose and affect change. in this lifetime, I do feel much more powerful to be able to change things. Um, I'm going to toot my own horn. My daughter, uh, she came up to me the other day, and there was a client that had seen her, and my daughter came up to me and she said, Mommy, a woman that said that she's your client, that she's been working with you, said that you changed her whole world. And it made me really emotional because it made me feel so purposeful in my life and that I can affect change. My little self, myself can affect change. And that is my most authentic self. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to know about this? Is there any other emotions? Is this another soul emotion? So this is another soul emotion that I'm going to be revealing. And have we passed it? Is it here? Is it here? Fluster, foggy, forlorn, frustration. The emotion of frustration. Okay. I have definitely been feeling this a lot lately. I think that this is one of the biggest reasons why this is triggering because I was just betrayed by someone that I really cared about. I felt very disgusted with their behavior, and I still do. I feel frustrated in general with what was going on. And there's four different definitions or ways that we can feel frustration. I'm going to go to one, two, three. Losses. Losses, these are especially frustrating because so often they are beyond our control. So I know that this is something that is resonating really deeply within my life right now. Is there more emotions? Is it here, 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 here? Instability, internalization, jealousy, lack of control, loneliness, longing, love unreceived. Love unreceived. We tend to create emotional patterns within our lives, and in this case, from lives past, that we can reenact if we don't know what that pattern is. So, right now in this moment, you are seeing the reasons why I am not able to fully love and embrace my most authentic self. Okay. Do we need to know? So, feeling that love expressed is rejected. That pattern is definitely coming through in my life right now. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to know here? Is there any other emotions that we need to know? Is there anything else residual, underlying emotional resonance? I want to be very, very thorough with everything, every layer of this experience that I had as a past life man. Okay, have I passed it? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Here, here, here. The emotion is worthless. The emotional resonance where my vibration, my frequency has been vibrating at is feeling worthless. And boy, oh boy, do I know that emotion well. Of no importance or value, without excellence of character, quality, or esteem, serving no purpose. To feel worth as a person is a basic psychological need. We need to feel that we are important. If one lacks a sense of personal worth, one becomes negative, critical, discouraged, and apathetic and sees little meaning or challenge in life. I've cleared this energy so many different times, and I hope that I will continue to just get better. I truly believe that worthlessness is tied into imposter syndrome. When you really believe that there's nothing that you can add of value, it's no matter how many people say you're amazing, you're great, you're so like I've heard it so much in my life. And only until recently, when someone says you've changed my whole life, I've said, no, you did it. No, you worked on it. You're the one, you. And I wasn't taking that credit for myself. And it takes a level of vulnerability and safety and creating a space of genuine connection and healing that someone has the ability to change their whole worlds. And I am proud to say that I create that so that someone can flourish. All right, is there anything else we need to know? Can we go ahead and clear this now? All right, I am going to activate my vagus nerve, release endorphins. Oh, that disgust is not, it feels gross. There's been a couple of times where I've actually released disgust and I've thrown up before. It's such a physical feeling. It's like when a kid eats, I don't know, like sour milk. It's like, oh, okay. All right. Shake it out a little bit. I get tingles when I do this on myself, when I work with others. I feel some of that love unreceived in my chest. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to know about this question? Is there any other energies, emotions that we can release? Is there anything that's hidden? I feel it. I could feel like there's something hidden inside. So there's a hidden energy, hidden emotion. Is it in the emotions definitions wheel? It's in the wheel. Sad, disgust. Okay, it's a root of disgust. Is it here? Is it here? Hesitant, aversion, detestable, revulsion, revolted, repugnant, loathing, judgmental. Judgmental. Okay, let's see. Is this judgmental toward myself? Toward myself. So I am being judgmental towards myself, which is why I am preventing myself from embracing my most authentic self. Okay. Is this from this lifetime? No. Is this tied to the no will to trust others from my previous release? No. So this is from a past life as a woman. I can just see her right now. I'm envisioning um, a woman that is alone, a lot of self-loathing, a lot of hatred. As I connect to her, I'm just sending her love, compassion, grace, because we can only do so much in this lifetime, and we can only show up to the capacity of the tools that we have cultivated within ourselves. Is there anything else that's hidden? Yes. Okay, self-abuse. I'm just sensing it. I can feel her. Is there any other emotions? Is it in definitions? Okay, so this one is something that I'm not totally sure about. Depression. Is it here? Here. So depression, there can be different causes of depression from the physical to the emotional. Sometimes depression is anger towards turned inwards. I'm getting a strong yes for anger toward turned inward. Okay, that's what I needed to know. It's anger toward turned inward. Is there anything else with this depression? Is there any other hidden emotions? Any underlying emotions? Okay, I felt the emotional resonance coming up. Is it here? Is it here? Here, here, here? Hatred, heartache, helplessness, hopelessness, horror, hostility. Hmm. Is this here? Yes, emotional hatred. Hatred towards self. Hmm. The opposite of love is indifference, not hate. Another term for hate is hurt love. Under the hate is love that has been hurt or betrayed. So if you hate someone, when they say there's a fine line between love and hate, they've probably betrayed the love that you felt, and it's been hurt. And I can attest to that. That's exactly a truth that I have not just lived in my life, but I've experienced with other people. Is there anything else we need to know? Is there any underlying? Can we clear this whole energy? Okay. Ooh. Okay, that's going to take a little bit of time to process. Is there anything else we need to know? Have we cleared everything that needs to be cleared today? I hope that all of these videos really help you get in tune with yourself. And seeing me be vulnerable gives you a little bit more compassion and love towards yourself as well. Because I know it's not easy to share. I know it's not easy now. I didn't know that before. I didn't know that it was hard for others to share, but I do know that now. And I want to be compassionate and graceful for anyone that finds it hard to share their experiences. If you want to book a session with me, I will leave that in the description below so that you can uncover from this life or past lives why you feel the way that you do, or you're attracting the things that you're attracting within your life. Because we all deserve to live our best lives. And holding on to past life energy of the will to no will to trust others, who knows what you are not attracting into your life because something that you aren't even aware of. It's not your fault, but you do have the power to change. And I hope that we can change together because we can make an impact on this world. Together, we can do anything we want to. I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I hope today you empower yourself to change because you deserve it. And if you feel like you need motivation, I'm here. I am here and I will show up as my vulnerable, authentic self, especially more after this, more and more and more for all of you. Thank you.